All right, I think we could get started. I think I could see a couple of names appearing in my screen. Benefit of time, hello everyone. Again, this is Vinod from ChainSys. I'm the one who's interacting with people and engagement of new logos for ChainSys. And today is an interesting topic. We've chosen the data migration from SAP ECC 6 to S4HANA. And this is pretty interesting topic. We chose this topic based on our interest from our audience, a couple of events and the interaction we had with our prospects and our team members who wanted to show some value on this particular data migration journey. So we picked up this topic, and here is what we are presenting today. And I'll introduce the presenter a minute now. So feel free to have any text messages on the screen for any questions. We could answer then and there. Followed by this recorded sessions will be appear on our website, and you can also have a look at it. Probably I can also reach you guys back in a couple of days to follow with you, to take some real use case from your requirements, and we can deep dive one more specific sessions if that's really interesting to you. So with that high level brief, I'll try to bring our presenter today, Sujay Nelson, who is our SAP practice head.
Thank you, Vinod. Hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning, based on wherever you are. Exciting day today. We are going to talk about migration to S4HANA. A lot of you are probably in the process of doing a conversion, or at least thinking about having the conversion in the future. And it's like Vinod was mentioning, it's one of the most popular topics from our events. So I am Sujay Nelson. We work with our customers using the ChainSys platform to manage their data, including migration of data. So the talk today is going to be moving from ECC to S4HANA. I mean, we can do others well. So from an agenda perspective, what we would do is we will talk about ChainSys a bit and what we do, how we approach the problem, and then we will do a quick demo of our product, and in the end we will have some Q&A. So most of the cases when data conversion topic comes about, experience it has been due to a M&A, either companies are getting acquired or they are buying another company. That's when they are moving from one ERP to another. In our case, today it's going to I think a lot of existing SAP customers might be thinking of just migrating from ECC to S4, just to upgrade in terms of their business processes, functionality, and so forth. So there are many advantages to S4HANA. Obviously, we won't be going into that aspect of it. Those are decisions that I'm hoping you would be making internally based on your need and so forth. Where we would come in is help you make it simpler. It's that it shouldn't be a complicated, fearsome topic. Oh, can we do this? Should we make this decision now? If you believe you should go to S4HANA, then you make it an easy journey. So ChainSys has its own platform called the ChainSys platform. We can do a few things: data integration, master data management, data migration, which we'll be discussing today, data and data reconciliation. All of these capabilities are built into our platform. So you are not going to different tools for a different function. We believe data should be touched once and it should be operated on once, and those operations should be available across the board on any systems that you have. So the ChainSys platform comes with built-in adapters using APIs to all the solutions you see on the left-hand side. Today's conversation being easy S4HANA, but if you have an additional system, let's say a Salesforce system that you want to merge with your ECC data before it moves to S4HANA, or any other data that you want to incorporate as part of a data cleansing exercise before you move the data to S4HANA, we would be able to seamlessly bring that data in to help you with that. So we can connect using REST services, SOAP services, and even if you have your own middleware, we can help you do that.
I have a question from a person called, I'm not able to see the name, but okay. The question is, what is the ChainSys platform built on? Is it its own solution from scratch or built on top of any other technology? That's a good question, Sujay.
Excellent question. So we call it the ChainSys platform because it's built ground up our own technologies. So it's basically a Java-based engine, primarily Java and JavaScript. So we have Apache Tomcat and also we have MongoDB, we have PostgreSQL. We can also run on SQL Server and Oracle. So that's sort of like a semi-stack I've given. We also have access to big data, and the whole platform has many engines, like workflow engine. It has even engine algorithms to do ability can do connect and put map data in. We can do statistical analysis using R programming. So all of these capabilities, primarily most of these technologies are open source technologies, which are baked in our own platform. It runs by itself as a separate engine. It can be a virtual engine or it can run on its own server. I hope that answered your question. Ask in more detail what specifically you are looking. So what we have done is, since we have built our own platform, and we have built connectors to different ERP solutions. We have gone to the next stage, and as you can see, you'll start seeing the word templates a lot. So we have teams that understand the SAP data model. So we understand the ECC data model. We understand the S4 HANA data model, the mapping. For example, from customer master to business partner, right? So that mapping work is already made our template in our platform. So when you're migrating, which we'll be seeing in a moment, when you're migrating from ECC to S4, all they are trying to do is configure the template to add any additional fields you have or any customizations or planning to do in the data. So for all the standard fields, we would already have them. And the steps you see on the left are basically the steps done in a typical migration process. And all this is actually pre-built into our platform. So it will be, again, seeing in a moment, you will be running these steps in a sequential manner. You'll do the extraction of the data, do the transformation, we'll do the pre-validation. What is essentially we can bring, for example, in this case, we'll be bringing the configuration table from your S4 HANA and then validating the data before loading the data into your S4 HANA data. So
I think a couple of questions coming in today. Maybe I think I have got 4 questions. Prioritize one by one.
Sure.
Maybe let me read the questions, then you can pick up one of those over again.
Okay.
Is that possible to create a repeatable and scalable data migration? Is that first question?
So
to answer that, yeah.
Yes, it is repeatable, and that's the whole point of using a template. So the advantage of using a series of migrations, let's say a ECC rollout or even a S4 rollout to multiple sites at a time, and once you configure the template, 90% of the work is done for one site. So when you go to the next site, it becomes a repeatable process, both in terms of data quality and in terms of efficiency of execution. So whatever investment you are doing for the first cycle will be leveraged highly for the subsequent.
Is this offered on cloud?
Yes. So this can be either on the cloud. So this is a whole platform that can be available in the ChainSys. We have our own local cloud service provider, or we can put it in Azure or AWS or any other cloud platform, your platform of choice, or it can run as a private cloud.
I think this is a repeat question from the same person. You mentioned ChainSys platform use Apache technologies that need to be deployed in a customer infrastructure. So for example, would the customer need to procure hardware resources for use, or is it hosted solution?
I think this probably is a lot similar to our first question that you mentioned, Vino. So yes, it's right. And either we can, if you have on-prem private cloud, we can install it as a virtual machine on your private cloud. Or if you have data concerns, then we can do it as a private cloud. But if you want to leverage our cloud experience, in which case we can manage the whole infrastructure, we can do it in our cloud and just connect to your. Very interesting questions. Thank you. That I hope that clarifies. That's where it gives us a lot of capability to do a lot of things. So we have built templates, like I was mentioning, based on the data models of the source and target systems and putting the configuration data. And we've built templates for all the major ERP solutions out there. So any migrations we would be able to handle. ECC to S4 is today's topic again. So we'll be focusing on the SAP data models and the template. A typical management conversation would involve many steps. Even though we jumped to the second step today, right? We are discussing about migration. What we recommend to our customers is first you would have to do a data profiling and a data quality assessment of your existing data, irrespective of whether your project for the migration to S4 HANA. So you would want to take your ECC data, apply all your business rules, because as time goes by, we all know data quality starts trending down. It's impossible to build all the business rules into SAP. So what the data quality aspect of it is probably the biggest challenge in any migration project. So we strongly recommend starting the data quality conversation right when you are thinking of doing this for HANA and you are prepping the data and getting the data ready. And we also have the capability to bring in change data capture. So any changes that has happened since the data quality assessment can easily be brought in and assessed once you decide to move forward with the project. The other key capability in our platform, which we won't be discussing today, is the reconciliation. Once the data is migrated, you want to be able to reconcile it very easily. Especially the business users need to be able to look at it from an object perspective rather than table perspective to approve the migration, the migrated data, and it makes sense to them. And that essentially even saves time in the number of cycles, test cycles we have to do, and also the time it takes to complete a cycle with proper business involvement. So we have tools along with templates. Beyond that, the ChainSys platform also has capability to do ongoing integration and also data quality assessment, right? Even when you move to S4HANA, you won't be able to apply all the business rules. So we can help you apply business rules and on any new data that gets onboarded into S4HANA. And this again goes back to our second question, is it repeatable? Yes, it is, because we are using a template model. It becomes the template is configured and repeatable. We follow the SAP, we are certified by SAP, and we follow the SAP BAPI, use the SAP BAPI technology to migrate the data. So all your validation, even though it's validated in our platform, will again be validated when we load the data into it. And it's not, and we have a whole suite of solutions we bring to the table. So as you can see, we have our tool as visualization capabilities. So we bring standard report and dashboard, and we can also configure it to your business needs. So it's easy for business users to participate in the migration conversation. And we also have resources both in terms of our platform and SAP knowledge to make it a seamless journey for you. In terms of the other question that came by, is it our own platform? As you can see, we have Hadoop running, we do data construction capabilities, we provide data security, data audit. So all of these capabilities, it's not possible to get in a typical, even SAP provided data migration tool. And we have built this platform, enhanced it, made it easy to use with a typical migration project in mind. So all the things that you need to do in a migration project are incorporated as different engines available in our platform. So for data profiling and for data dedupe is a great example. We use the Hadoop engine a lot. And once we clean the data, here we are just moving it to one target. If you have other users, we can also provide the data available to other targets. So like we discussed before you do a migration, you want to do a data quality assessment. A lot of these issues should be handled as part of the data quality process before you even start the data migration project, right? Yes, we know.
One question here. Can this tool handle complex work?
Sure. So that's what I was referring to when I said we can configure any business rules. So any complex business rules, whether it's expression-based or any combination of third-party systems, can be easily incorporated as business rules configured by the business users. So they understand what rules of data failed for what reason. So this and all of this can be done during the data quality. So you are irrespective of to do it, and even you can use it. Some of our customers are just using it to cleanse their existing data. So essentially, they are taking the data out of ECC, cleansing it, and loading it back into while they wait for their migration test. So those are the capabilities we provide and strongly recommend for all of our. And once we start the migration project, and it will follow its own standard methodology. So we would say we should start with at least 70% data quality. And then as each iteration of the test migration we do, we get closer and closer to the ideal of 100%. The other key aspect of when you do the migration, in addition to data, you might also want to do some address checks, right? That could be part of your data quality. You can do data enrichment. Like for example, we have adapters that connect to DNB or even third-party mapping tools. So if you want to enrich any data, we could. And all of these, we are based out of Lansing, Michigan. Our development center is based out of Chennai, India. We have more than 850 professionals, 80 plus SAP experts. So all these experts essentially understanding the data models of various versions of SAP and various releases of even S4HANA and helping adapt the template. So when we go to a customer, we are giving a solution what they are trying. And we have multiple project engagements. So enough experience to stream what customers should be doing when they think of migrating to S4HANA. And in the end, you see our other products that we can leverage, including mobility solutions. If you want, let's say, a senior member to approve, put a vendor payment term level, things like that, we can easily incorporate that in a workflow. So everyone is engaged in the data conversion. So we are also certified by SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, and we actively work with those organizations in maintaining the certification. And the bottom right, you see all the key technologies we utilize and we have resources for also. We participate in most of the conferences, and some of you might have met us at the conference. Remember us, might be a helpful reminder, and whoever took the M&M challenge might remember us from your visit to the booths. But it's a great opportunity for us to see how the industry is evolving, being in touch with SAP, and applying any of the new learnings we have into our platform. And we also present our success stories at these events, and which have been very valuable both to us and to our future customers. So with that said, let's get to the most interesting part of the topic today, which is the actual look of our product demo. Go ahead, Vino.
Thank you so much, Jay. I think it's really good, interesting, and then a couple of questions coming in. Address the in terms of time concerns, we'll go with the demo right now.
So this is going to be a small recording of our platform. We'll walk you through, and you'll be able to see how the platform looks and happens. So this basically shows the source system version. So as you can see, it's EHP 7, ERP 6, and we are going to migrate this specific material with the various views from the S4. This is the ChainSys platform, the App Migrate tool, which we'll be utilizing for the migration. And I'll go to execution. You can see it has multiple capabilities. You have the normalizer, you have the mapper, and then you have the pre-validation happening. So as we were discussing during the presentation, all the steps to the left, like I said, are pre-built into our plan. You can see execution happening. We've stopped it at a certain level to look at the errors, and you can quickly see the yellow ones are potential information where there is a mismatch. Maybe it's a valid mismatch when a transformation happens. The red one is the actual error record. So a business user looking at it can quickly zoom down to what is going on, essentially make a correction immediately. It could be business or it could be IT or whoever, but it's done in one place. So you are not trying to fix it in Excel files or anything like that, and there is complete order. So you are able to come here, and this is also a configurable screen. So if you are migrating less fields, you would only seeing the fields that is relevant. Once you make all your corrections, you would be able to run it again, and we will be validating all the corrections with the configured SAP, the destination SAP S/4HANA. So as you can see, there were just 3 records that required correction, and we are fixing the area, and multiple errors can be fixed in one go. You save the fix, and then you can just go ahead and as you can see from a dashboard perspective, it's running through all the steps again, and you will have a number of records, and you will also be able to see the time taken to run it so far. So let's go ahead and load this data. So right now, loading it into S/4HANA, we are using the BAPI to load the data, and after it loads the data, it brings it by comparing the source and destination data, the actual data from S4, and see if there are any mismatch. Again, the same thing applies. If it's yellow, there is a difference, which is probably good because it's a transformation happening. If it's a red one, that essentially something is incorrect there. And based on the error message, you'll be able to see what the errors are, and you'll be able to fix it and reprocess it again. So here we go into the one error record, and it looks like it's missing the plant information. So you would be able to go and update that plant information, SAP transactions in S/4HANA. That's an interesting tip. And you can see the material has gone in the HANA. And we just gone through the core steps, right? How a template is used, how the process runs. And a lot of these things, we were running it with manual intervention. They will all be automated depending on your specific need, right? So all your objects, dependencies, all of them can be shared and managed from one platform. So maybe we'll open it up for questions now.
Sure. That's interesting ones, Jay. One question is, how can we get a cutover time? Is there any time frame less than you have any time frame?
So the one advantage of using our platform is you can manage the cutover efficiently. So we have changed data capture. So what happens is when we bring the data, you can start moving the data ahead of your cutover. So to your target system, and then we can, during the cutover, we can only bring the changes in the source system to the target system. So essentially what it happened, we have been able to bring down the cutover time to less than a few days, in some cases to a few hours, and then bulk of that is spent on validating the data. So it all depends on a case-to-case basis, but we will bring it to the maximum or the minimum level possible, so the business downtime is not impacted negatively.
I think we are just coming to the end of the session. I think we are, let's 30 minutes. So please have your questions listed, and I have all the couple of questions. I can respond back to you independently to write questions to right people. And looking forward to connect back with you. I'll probably touch base with you to gather some of your specific use cases specific to the data. And we could also bring in Sujay if in case that need any further assistance on having your data migration journey. Here comes a beautiful day, and thank you so much for all of us joining this. And really, we enjoyed sharing our experience and what we learned from our past events. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Thank you all.
Thank you.